brings a conservative point of view to black issues. His mission: to provide a forum for honest discussions about social issues without the liberal lapdogs shutting down the discussion. Broadcasting from the American Truth Project Studios in beautiful Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. This is Conservative Nation with your host, Jermaine Buxio.
How's everybody doing? Welcome back to another edition of Conservative Nation with me, your gracious host, Jermaine Buxio, streaming out of the great state of Minnesota in the crime-filled city of Minneapolis. How's everybody doing on this beautiful Thursday evening? Let me tell you, here in Minneapolis, it is snowing. Big flakes, and I ain't talking about frosted flakes either. I'm talking about these huge flakes. How's everybody doing? Make sure you share. We got a lot to discuss today. Let me tell you something. Our news cycle is out of control right now. It is. Did you guys see what Biden administration's doing? Oh, yeah. They trying to put out a $30 million program. Let me go ahead and, Facebook is an idiot. They done already released it. Look at them. Look at Facebook. Look at y'all. Look at how evil y'all are. Let me go ahead and restart the stream. They're that evil. I know they are. They're like, he's one of the last streaming on here. We're going to make it hell for him. Don't you worry. Let me go ahead. All right. All right. It looks like we're good. So I started a new stream. Make sure you guys share. Make sure you share here. All right. Looks like we're good. Make sure you share if you're coming back on Facebook. You know what the deal is. Every time we start our show, for some reason, Facebook is acting silly. They always do this. Always. Makes no sense in the world. None. All right, well, it seems like everybody back here. I did all my sharing. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rock. Hopefully you guys are too. Make sure you do your due diligence. You see how they're playing around with me. I need you to hit that like button. I need you to share. All right? Let's go ahead and get rocking. Let's get flaming. Let's get flaming, baby. Absolutely. Our first one up here, ladies and gentlemen. Our first one up. I want to go ahead and speak to you guys about a company that is getting a lot of heat right now. They got a lot of heat last year for trying to change their business practices. And now it seemed like they're catching more heat this year for, how can I say, expanding on their business model and practice. I'm speaking about the company called Onlyfans. You guys know Onlyfans, right? Women from here to Pakistan are losing their primary job because they want to be whores online. Yeah, you guys know OnlyFans. Stop acting like you don't know OnlyFans. Maybe some of y'all do OnlyFans. You better stop playing around with me. Well, OnlyFans, the company, has decided, ladies and gentlemen, to start doing campus tours. As you guys know, if you've ever attended a university, usually they have, these events, some days that are designated on the campus for events like, job fairs and things of this nature. Well, OnlyFans is now going to college campuses across this country and trying to recruit people to work for their company. I kid you not. And let me tell you something. Women are mad. They absolutely are. Let me go ahead and run this clip. When they come back, I want to get you guys' take on this. Are they wrong for doing this? I just want to get your take on this. OnlyFans. They decided, hey, most of our, people that, sign up and they're showing their, their breasts and their ass are young teenage women. Shoot, we might as well employ them. They making us money. Take a look at this when it come back. I want to get your take on this. OnlyFans, campus touring around, trying to get your young daughter to show a little cleavage. Take a look at this. Here we go.
See student loans piling up. Financial freedom starts here. This is salvation, ladies. This is salvation, ladies. 2-3 minutes of your time, ladies. That's all we need. Financial freedom starts here. What if I told you, ladies, that you could say fuck school today, still earn 6 figures and be your own boss? How's that sound? We don't want you to be a porn star. We just want you to have an open mind. Listen, our motto is you get ahead by giving head. Brand new 2022 Chevy Silverado sitting in the front yard. How about that? Think about it.
What do you gotta think about this? OMG. OMG. Let me tell you. OMG. Let me tell you. He's over here, ladies and gentlemen, trying to get folks, the young girls. Let me go ahead and, as people are wondering about the YouTube, here's the YouTube link. Come and join us on YouTube. What can I say about this? OnlyFans right now is gaining a lot of subscribers and a lot of people on there. Now, let me go ahead and say this. I know there are people who use OnlyFans that is not for, any sex content. I know that, right? I heard of chefs on OnlyFans. I've heard of personal trainers on OnlyFans. I understand that. But OnlyFans is popular for sex content. Let's not play around. And a lot of their business, their money, comes from young college-age girls. And I want folks to understand that. That's why I keep saying we have a whorish culture. When I say that a lot of whores brought down the price of I don't make this stuff up. The price of pussy is low. Hold on, let me say it's low. It's low. It's in the 50-cent bin on Tuesdays when it's half off. That's how low it is. And it's because these young girls out here ain't valuing their body. They have figured out how to make some change by doing something a little strange, if you know what I mean. You just can't get around that. You just can't. We have a whorish culture. And the thing is, they have made it fashionable and easy for these women to make buku money. I mean, some of y'all out there are working at, maybe at a sawmill. Maybe you're working at a plant somewhere. Some of y'all are cashiers. Maybe you work in a auto mechanic business. Let me tell you, working 8 hours hard. Let me tell you, hold on, let me say this again. Hard, right? Working your fingers to the nubs. And let me tell you something, what these young girls are doing. While you're working hard, Susie Q is on Onlyfans showing her tits and ass and laying on her back for a few hours a day, a few pictures a day, and making more than you. I want that to sink in. Let that sink in. That's how this business is taking off. That's why so many young girls are doing this. And this is the main reason why so many men don't respect women. And I want the women to understand that. If you're online showing your tits and ass for money, don't think you're going to get respect out of most men once they meet you. I want the women to understand that. The men may finesse you, right? Go along with you because they want to screw you, but that's about it. Men don't want to marry whores. And I think that's something that most women don't understand. The men will screw a whore, absolutely. At the end of the day, when he's thinking about settling down, he ain't settling down with a whore. Somebody who's been ran through, somebody who is showing their tits and ass online all day. So I'm just putting it out there. OnlyFans is taking advantage, let me tell you, of a new market. And it wouldn't be a new market if women had more respect for their body. But in this day and age, they don't. They're showing their breasts, everything online for a little bit of change, let me tell you. A little bit of change. They're showing everything for a little bit of change. And then they want to go out and act as if somebody should treat them as if they are, a proper lady. It blows my mind. Whores out there want to be treated like proper ladies. I never could understand this. Does it blows my mind, but that's what it is. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys do me a favor. Hit that like button and make sure you do share. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to two folks here. First shout out goes out to my guy, Philip Mitchell. Philip Mitchell donated, took our challenge on Cash App. Mr. Philip. And let me tell you, big shout out to my guy. And let me tell you something. Very beautiful white man, strong white man, built like an ox. And I ain't lying about this, built like an ox. Stephen Marlowe. Brother from another mother. Shout out to Mr. Marlowe. Absolutely. Shout out to Mr. Marlowe. Entertainment for this Friday evening. Absolutely. Shout out to Mr. Marlowe. Beautiful wife, beautiful family. Let me tell you. I want to be like him when I grow up. I ain't lying. I want to be like him. I want to be like Mr. Marlowe. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys share. All right. I'm going to need your help. As you guys know, the mob is after us and they don't like us. They don't like me. They definitely don't like you. I can tell you that. And you know why? It's because, ladies and gentlemen, we think alike. We certainly do. And you know, our thinking is the best, right? Yeah. Next one up. Next one up here, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh-wee. I want to speak about Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle heating up the airways once again. Oh, yeah. But let me tell you something. It's a little bit different. Dave Chappelle in his community right now is upset, all right? The community that he lives in California, they want to put up affordable housing. Now, let me retract that. I don't know if he's still in California. I'll retract that. Where he's living right now, I should say. He doesn't want affordable housing in his backyard. He went to the city council meeting and voiced his opinion. He is threatening to remove all his businesses, all of it, if this goes down. Now, shout out to the producer. She just sent me where he's living in. He's living in Ohio. So I want to go ahead and point that out there. Shout out to the producer. Now, if you've been watching me for a while, I have spoken plenty of times. Plenty of times about Section 8 housing. All right? He's calling it affordable housing, right? Some people call it subsidized housing. I call it Section 8 because that's the the government terminology for it. Section 8. And Section 8 housing, ladies and gentlemen, has been a problem for a lot of cities across this nation. Section 8 housing is usually filled with single mama and their bastard children. I want people to understand that. The more Section 8 affordable housing you have, the more crime, drugs, and riffraff you'll bring in. And I'm letting you know that. You can't get around it. Let me go ahead and run this clip. When I come back, I want to speak about it. Dave Chappelle says no to Section 8 housing. No to baby mamas. Here we go.
Can I go? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Hi, I'm Dave Chappelle. I just want to say, and Marianne, I can talk to you about this privately. I don't know why the village council would be afraid of litigation from a $24 million a year company while they X out a $65 million a year company. I cannot believe you would make me audition for you. You look like clowns. I am not bluffing. I will take it all off the table. That's all. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So
Look at him. He said, all right. So there you go. Dave Chappelle. He don't want affordable housing. He doesn't want Section 8 in his backyard. He doesn't want it in his area. I don't blame him. Look at Minneapolis here. Minneapolis is filled with Section 8 housing, and it's filled with crime. Crime through the roof. Section 8, bring the niggas out. Absolutely. I'm not even going to play around. Now, I know there's some folks who are living in Section 8 housing. Some of them may be, have some sort of abnormality, some sort of mental disorder, or some sort of disability, right? I understand that. I also understand that sometimes on subsidized housing, you get folks who are on SSI and some of these other government programs. I totally understand that. But that's not the majority of folks on Section 8. The majority of folks on Section 8 are single mamas and their bastard children. And I want folks to understand the reason why people like Dave Chappelle, smart folks across the board, don't like Section 8. Let me tell you. If you've been watching me for a long time, right, for a few years, you would know that my family is into bricks and mortar, right? My father came here from Ghana, West Africa. He first started a shoe business here in Minnesota called Minnesota Footwear, where niggas were robbing from his shoe store, even though he was still hiring blacks. I speak about this story all the time. And the store that he had, it was in Brooklyn Park, very nice store, right next to Payless. He decided to shut down the store because so many blacks were in there thieving and robbing. And Brooklyn Park at that time had, let me tell you, abundance of subsidized housing all the way around. So most of the folks coming in to the store were coming from that area. Moving forward, my dad decides to get rid of the business, right? Too much of a headache. Runs into a very nice guy by the name of Howie Gangstad. Shout out to Howie. Very big real estate guy here in Minneapolis. Shout out to Howie. Got my father into bricks and mortar. Howie, my father, they started renting properties out to people who were on Section 8. Right? Section 8. And it was one of the worst decisions my father ever did. One of the worst. And he says this all the time before he passed away. Shout out to my daddy. And you know why? It's because even though when you're on Section 8, right, as a landlord, you get the the requirement, you passed all the stuff that you needed to pass for the property, right? All the inspections and stuff like that. And you get paid directly from the government, right? Sometimes, the tenant may need to pay $25, $50, whatever. But majority of the money that you're getting is directly from the government. So a lot of property owners like that, right? They don't have to sit there and hassle with the tenant. Hey, when are you going to pay me? It's the 5th. When are you going to pay me? It's the 6th. You don't have to do that. The government just slides it right in. But with the government sliding it right in, you have hell in your property. And I want folks to understand where this is going here. When you have hell in your property, you have a woman and her bastard children, right? Most of the time, she's going to come to you and lie. She's going to say, hey, it's just me and my 3 children. Yeah, I'm really nice and I'm really clean. This is what all the single mamas say. They all say this. I'm really nice and I'm really clean. Soon as she moved her and her bastard children in your property, she act like she don't know you anymore. You pass by the property, you look at the front of your property. You see the blinds, right? Blinds are all screwed up. Look like cats have been hanging on the blinds, right? You know what I'm talking about when you pass by ghetto areas. Blinds are missing, right? Blinds are in a V and a U shape. You know what I'm talking about? You're like, man, look like, G.I. Joe been fighting them blinds. You don't even know what's going on. Your crib screwed up from here to Pakistan. Holes in the wall. Dumping toys in the gosh darn toilet. And then the biggie, right? This is the biggie. She moves her thug-ass boyfriend in, right? Or the baby daddy. The one that ain't supposed to be there because the government paying. Right? So now you got Jamar Quavius spreading his legs, laying up with a baby mama who's being subsidized by the government. Jamar Quavius can't get a job. He can't get an apartment. He can't get a place of his own because he's a thug. And thugs love Section 8 baby mamas so that they can sit up, lay up, smoke weed, and sell dope out of the crib. And that's exactly what you get with a lot of these Section 8 properties. You get baby mamas allowing drug dealers, molesters, guys who ain't worth a crap to be allowed in your property. And then after that, with all the destruction they do on your property, the money you're getting in ain't enough for you to fix the property. And then you kick out that tenant, right? You don't even have enough money to because your property is becoming a money pit then, right? And this is what the slumlords do. They take it in, right? They take the Section 8 folks in. Soon as the Section 8 folks screw up, because they always do, right? They allow their drug-infested boyfriend in. They allow, a fight to happen, police, stuff like that. Baby mamas are really good for that. And after that happens, they violate their lease. You know what happens? They get kicked out. The slumlord cannot fix the property, all of it, so he does a shoddy job. Right? Instead of, fixing the walls, you just throwing plaster over it. Just screw it. Just throw plaster over it, right? Doing whatever he can just to turn the property quick so that he can bring in another Section 8 person so he can keep collecting money. So the property is decaying every time a person enters it. And it becomes a revolving door full of scumbaggery. And I want people to understand that. And that's the main reason why you don't want affordable housing right around you, because when people don't pay for the place they live, they don't give a rip about it. Do you understand? They don't take care of it. They don't give a rip about it. That's why my father ended up getting out of Section 8. Ended up going and doing it the correct way and looking at folks' credit scores and their background. So I want folks to understand that. When he says this, it has everything to do with how people of that ilk act. And let me clean that up. Most of the black folks in this country are on some sort of government program, especially the women on Section 8. They don't take care of their children well. They allow drugs and crime. And I want folks to understand that. So that's what it comes down to. Shout out to Matthew Steiner. It says, doors get kicked on, no knock warrant. Absolutely. Through the roof. But these things happen all the time. So when you have him doing this, it's because, ladies and gentlemen, He's trying to save his community. Shout out to Jesse Kohler. Jesse Kohler says, you ain't lying, Jermaine. Minnesota, St. Paul, Minneapolis, Section 8 hosting. Let me tell you, apartments going up like crazy everywhere. Absolutely. I don't make this stuff up. Minneapolis and St. Paul filled with Section 8 housing. That's why there's so much crime. So much crime. You know, you can knock up a baby mama. Baby mama, they call them sitting ducks because that's what a baby mama is. Soon as she get pregnant, she have the child, she put up by the government, she's a sitting duck. She can't do much, taking care of a kid, and then most of the time they're online on Facebook arguing with other baby mamas, right? Hey, I had them first. No, I had them. This is the type of nonsense that is going on. So if you want to reduce crime very easily in your city, you start taking away Section 8 housing. Soon as you start doing that, you'll see the riffraff start rolling out. That's exactly what they did in a lot of places in Chicago, which they don't speak about at all. I just want folks to understand that. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share, all right? We got a lot more to talk about, and as you guys know, we gon' get it in. Absolutely. We gon' flame. We gon' flame. We definitely gon' flame. Next one up, I want to speak about Adele. Yeah. You guys know Adele, the singer. She's from the UK. Very beautiful woman. She was a little bit bigger before, a little bit robust. She ended up losing some weight. A lot of women got mad at her when she lost weight. You know, I don't know what's wrong with women out there. You know, I know you guys are crazy, but my goodness gracious. When a woman loses weight and she feels good, all of a sudden now you don't like her. What I just don't understand it. I just don't. She said she didn't feel good and healthy in the body she was in. When she said that, the fat shaming crowd was mad. Man, I can't believe you. You're saying that me being fat is unhealthy. I hate you, Adele. Right? She can't even state the obvious. Lost weight, the women hate her. Now, Adele is labeled transphobic because of her quote-unquote gendered Brit Award speech. She said she was proud to be a woman. I mean, saying something like, hold on. Saying something like that is controversial? It blows my mind. Let me go ahead and give somebody a shout out here. I want to go ahead and make sure you guys hit that like button. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Sharon Glover. Sharon Glover says, it's Joe Biden's fault. He said he would pay for the young girl's education. Yeah, then blame Trump for everything. It's Joe's turn. Absolutely. Absolutely. Shout out to Sharon Glover. Beautiful Sharon Glover. You know, Adele was just, you know, how can I say, being human. This transgender crowd is out of control. And remember what I told you, transgender crowd is just nothing but female, you know, the female mentality on steroids. That's all it is. They think, act, and feel like super feminine women. That's exactly what the transphobic, the gay crowd is. Haven't you guys noticed that too? Yeah, everything that has to do with LGBTQ is almost as if they're super feminine. You know, I'm telling ya, too much estrogen, too much femininity. Ruin your life. Take a look at this when it comes back. I want to speak about it. Make sure you share.
I understand why the name of this award has changed, but I really love being a woman and being a female artist. I do.
Let me go ahead and rewind that back one more time.
I understand why the name of this award has changed, but I really love being a woman and being a female artist. I do.
There you go. There you go. So what do you got to think about this? Adele being attacked by the mob. Attacked by the mob. Let me tell you. Just for saying that she loves being a female artist, a woman artist. You see what happens? Women out there, you see what happens when you go along with the LGBTQ crowd. I guarantee you, if a guy said, I love being a man artist, I doubt there will be a big backlash for that. I seriously doubt it. I seriously doubt it. If a guy came out and said, I love being a man artist, I doubt the transphobic community will come out and say, hey, I hate you for saying that. I doubt it. They go after people who have capitulated to their bullshit. Right? Let's just be honest. Adele, a lot of these entertainers have capitulated to their BS. That's the main reason why they're getting attacked. I want people to understand that. That's the main reason. Right now, when it comes to gender, how can I say, attacks on gender, let me re-clarify that. Attacks on gender. The gender that is under attack is the female gender. Right now, nobody knows what it means to be a woman. And I want the women to understand you are to blame. You're not going to get many men standing up and fighting for the dignity and the exclusivity of the female gender. You're not going to get many men doing it. For the simple reason is that we are in a new time. With this female first campaign out there, with feminists, with a loud and bratty mouth that is, tearing up the airwaves, you're not going to get men standing up. If majority of women didn't have an issue with the transgender community coming out and saying that, hey, I can be a woman if I do this and this and that, then it wouldn't be happening. The reason why they are going after and attacking the female gender is because the female gender is weak. Mentally. Easily swindled by emotion. And I keep saying this. You don't hear guys complaining about this type of crap, do ya? We're just complaining in a sense about hearing it. But it's the women who are getting the brunt of it. And it's because women are emotionally led. And that's why I'm very honest with women. That's why I speak a lot of the time about emotional management. Because without emotional management and women understanding that they are attacking your emotions and the way you think to destroy this country, they will never know. They will never know. And I want people to understand that. Never know. I want the women to ask themselves, why are the transgender community, why are they so enthralled with you? Why are they coupling with you, right? Why do they think it's so easy to attack your gender and say, hey, I can be a woman too? Women, why? It's a simple question. How come they're not doing it to the guys like that? Right? How come they're not doing it to the guys? Matt Walsh had a debate with a tranny on Dr. Phil, who claimed that he was a woman. Being a woman is just a feeling. This is what he said. And you had dumbass women clapping in the background. One thing I guarantee you will not see is a transgender man running around and saying, I'm a man just like you. It won't fly. I'm a man just like you. You never hear it. Because the transgender men won't even say this. I want people to understand. When you look at it, I want people to use common sense here. When we play videos of trannies getting upset and mad, who are usually the trannies getting upset and mad? Is it the trannies that transgender from male to female or female to male? Which type of trannies do we always see being upset because they were misidentified? I can tell you. You always see the male transitioning into a female and getting upset by somebody misgendering them. That's what you see. You never see the opposite. And I want to ask the crowd very simply why. Right? No, yeah, you see we're deep thinkers on here. Why? It's just a simple question. Why? Why do we always see the tranny that's a male to female getting upset, attacking the female gender, but we never see the tranny that is a female who is transitioning to a male getting upset about being misgendered? Why? Absolutely. It's because they don't do it. Absolutely. They would get called out. Absolutely. Absolutely. They would get called out. I want people to understand. They would get called out. Shout out to Kelly Land. Kelly Land says, I think it's more guys turning into girls. Sweetheart, There's more guys turning into girls for the simple fact is that women are allowing this to happen. That's why. They are allowing it to happen. Kellyland. That's the main reason why. A woman, a transgender male can't go up to another male and claim that they're a male. The men ain't gonna allow this to fly. But women will allow a male who thinks they're a female to come along in their group. And identify as a female. And then what the thing is that women will then treat the tranny like a female as well. So it really boils down to, that's why I spend time on this, is because I'm hoping that, these shows get out here where people can understand the thought process here. Women have to be able to change their thought process when it comes to a lot of these things here. They're going to have to start using logic. Because the Luciferians have put you in the forefront, they're using you to destroy America. I'm letting the women know. They don't like you because they think that you're the smartest around. They're using your mental characteristics, right, against you to destroy America. That's why I point these things out. I want the women to ask yourself, why is it so easy for you to allow a male who thinks they're a woman in your midst? Why is it so easy for you to accept them than it is for males to accept the same thing? Because one thing I'm going to leave you with this. When it comes to transgender males, you don't see them hanging out with real men at all. You don't see them hanging out with what they call cisgender men, right? Men who identify as being men, real males. You don't see them doing it. And it's because men don't like living in fantasy land. Most of them don't. And it's almost, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand, it's an insult for somebody to come up to me who's a woman and they just woke up today and say, you know what, I feel like a man. It's an insult to me. And it should be an insult to you. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share, all right? That is the only way we can get the word out. The only way. The only way. Next one up. Next one up. I want to speak about Glenn Youngkin. Well, we'll hold off on Glenn Youngkin. We'll hold off on him. I want to speak about Stacey Abrams. Stacey Abrams, black woman out of Georgia. She got a big ass gap in her mouth, big enough to drive a Mack truck through. Yeah, big ass Mack truck. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, Stacey Abrams, she's in a little bit of some hot water right now. She was taking some pictures at an elementary school with no mask on. She had sat down. Let me go ahead and show you guys this here. Make sure you guys share. Make sure you do. I want you guys to take a look at this. Transitioning. Coming from the New York Post. Stacey Abrams apologizes after uproar of maskless school pics. And this is one of the pics she had. She was taking pictures with the students and the faculty members. And let me tell you something. This woman here did not wear a mask at all. Now remember, these type of black folks are running around saying how dangerous, right? Saying how dangerous. Oh, Omicron's so dangerous. It's so dangerous. I can't believe it. It's so dangerous. This is what she's saying. And with all this quote unquote danger that is going on, right? It's so dangerous. You know what she's doing? She's not wearing a mask. She's not at all. And when asked about this, ladies and gentlemen, she said, "Why are you asking me this on Black History Month?" I want you to understand this. This is what she said. She said on Black History Month, "Why are you asking me this question? Black ass, big gap tooth wildebeest, Stacey Abrams. Big ass gap tooth. Look like jail bars. If you're in California or Detroit, you know how they got burglar bars on the windows? Yeah, I'm telling you, those were modeled right after Stacey Abrams' teeth. Somebody looked at her teeth and said, "You know what? Those would be good stopping burglars." I kid you not. I kid you not. Let me go ahead and run this when it come back. I want to speak about this. I want to speak about the maskless Stacey Abrams and her burglar bar teeth. I want to speak about that. Absolutely. Make sure you share. Here we go.
So obviously we've all seen the picture. We've all seen the coverage of the picture. Did you make a mistake by taking a photo maskless in the classroom when it appears that everyone else, including all the children, were wearing them?
Yes. I will say this. I went to read to kids for an African-American read-in day. I approached the podium with my mask on. I followed the protocols. I told the kids I'm taking my mask off because I'm reading to kids who are listening remotely as well. And we were socially distanced. The kids were socially distanced from me. I told them that's what I was doing. And in the excitement after I finished, because it was so much fun working with those kids, I took a picture, and that was a mistake. Protocols matter, and protecting our kids is the most important thing, and anything that can be perceived as undermining that is a mistake, and I apologize.
So let me ask you though, because at the heart of this, I understand. So you're apologizing for making a mistake. But at the heart of this is why we're in this situation right now to begin with, right? Some people still believe in mask mandates. Others feel that it is long past the time, especially when adults are often no longer wearing mask mandates and mandates have been lifted. Yesterday, 4 Democratic governors set specific timelines to lift mask mandates in schools in the next few weeks. The New Jersey governor, just a few moments ago, wire cross, saying he said he's received, quote, overwhelmingly positive reaction to his decision. So do you think it's time to lift these mask requirements in schools? Would you lift them if you were governor of Georgia?
COVID hygiene is going to be a point of debate for a very long time, and we can only follow the science and follow our circumstances. Unfortunately, in Georgia, we're not at a place where that conversation is ready because we have one of the lowest vaccination rates in the country. We have 40% of our counties without general pediatricians, and we've refused to expand Medicaid, so many families don't have access to health care. I believe that our job is to protect children, and I know that educators and parents have to balance protection and education, and that is a complicated issue. I think each governor has to evaluate what's happening where they are. We have to look to the CDC, but we also have to recognize that we are shifting from pandemic to endemic. Some states are going to get there faster than others. My responsibility, if I am lucky enough to be the next governor of Georgia, is to look at the science, to follow the protocols, and to set the right example. And right now, that example is that we wear masks whenever possible, but we recognize that we can't be a hard line about this because situations change and we have different moments where we have to make decisions. But in this instance, I would say that as governor of Georgia, my job will be at that time to look at the science, to look at the situation, and to make the best decision to protect our kids.
All of which I understand. At the heart of this, and I'm a parent, my kids are wearing masks in schools. They say they don't mind. But one thing you said stood out to me, and that is because you were reading. You wanted them to see you read. You wanted them to see your expression. And that is part of the reason people feel the way they feel. Exactly, your natural instinct, which is, well, I was reading to them, I wanted to be able to share that. Does it concern you that these mask mandates are preventing their teachers from doing that same thing?
Our teachers are being asked to teach in small classroom sizes. They're teaching in overcrowded classrooms with limited resources, and not every classroom has the ability to have well-ventilated classrooms. They don't have the ability to make sure every child is protected. And so, yes, mandates make sense when you're trying to ask a teacher to protect an entire classroom. That does make sense to me.
Woo!
I live with my parents who are immunocompromised and my niece who is 15 and goes to school every day wearing a mask. My responsibility in that moment was to explain to those kids why I was doing something they weren't doing, and then as soon as possible to put that mask back on. I took the mask off because I was speaking remotely to 2 other classrooms and wanted all of them to hear me. But the larger point I want everyone to take from this is complicated, and we cannot make this about politics or scoring political points. This has to be about how do we protect our families, how do we navigate what's going to be a part of our community for quite some time. And as we shift from pandemic to endemic, we've got to be able to have these conversations in a civil and thoughtful manner and not use it as a volley to score points.
I can't even listen to
I want to
what
ask
you
you
say.
another question on something I know that is obviously a major important cause for you and passion. The Supreme Court's conservative majority just upheld Alabama's new congressional map. That map, a lower court had found, diminished the voting power of the state's black voters. The Supreme Court says it's going to hear arguments over the map, so that puts a key provision of the Voting Rights Act on the table. How concerned are you by that?
I'm very concerned, and I think it's worth noting that Chief Justice Roberts, who was the architect of gutting the Voting Rights Act in Section 5 in 2013, sided with the minority, saying that this is indeed a clear example of the erosion of voting rights. And when John Roberts says that you're doing something wrong on voting rights, we need to pay attention. Sadly, what's happening in Alabama is happening across this country.
Oh, Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the whistling tooth of Stacey Abrams. Let me tell you something. That woman's gap is wide, let me tell you. It's pretty wide. She was talking, and all I could see was big ass, buck teeth, wide, just wide, ladies and gentlemen. Looked like the abyss was in there. I was like, man. I'm like this. Man. I can't even take her seriously. You see the way I'm talking about her gap, right? I wouldn't be able to seriously sit there and just have her speak like this. All the fundraising you're doing, I'm pretty sure you can fundraise and get that gap fixed. You get what I'm saying? Bring them closer together. You get what I'm saying? Like this, yeah. They need to be, I'm just saying. But besides that, all right, but besides the gap, let's get away from the gap here. Besides her burglar bar teeth, besides that, this woman here is tap dancing around what the real deal is. She was careless with children. She was careless with her constituents. It basically comes down to rules for thee, not for me. That's what it comes down to. Stacey Abrams doesn't really care about the mask mandates. This is just something that is a control factor. She said that, hey, I wanted to sit there and read, right, to the children. I wanted to speak to the children and speak to the faculty, and I wanted them to see my face, give them the privilege. Well, sweetheart, everybody wants that privilege as well, right? And I would recommend you having a mask, because that gosh darn gap teeth right there, she looked like Snaggletooth the bear. I mean, she ready to chomp you out, let me tell you. You know, you can't be running around on TV looking like Yogi the Bear and then sit there and speak like this. It's just crazy to me. It is. You know, I would recommend a mask for Stacey Abrams. I would, you know, until she get that, you know, that teeth fixed right there, you know. Other than that, you know, keep the mask on. Masks are for Stacey, not for the children. And her attitude, the way that she is behaving on here, her demeanor, is really, you know, offsetting to a lot of folks. You know, she's not really addressing the real reason why people don't want these mask mandates. She's not at all. She's playing the game and towing the Democratic line. That's what she's doing. So I just wanted people to see that. Stacey Abrams, if she was to be elected, she would be a very, very bad woman. I think she wanted to even run for governor at one time. She probably still gunning for it. She'll be a very bad woman to bring on. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys do me a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share, all right? Make sure you share. Next one up. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. I want to go ahead and speak about Biden. Oh, yeah. Oh, as a matter of fact, shout out to the producer, Glenn Youngkin. We're going to speak about him since we're in Georgia right now. Glenn Youngkin was on Fox News. I want to play this one. He says, we are standing up for parents and empowering parents to make decisions for their children. I want to play this because this has a strong message. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share.
Well, of course, we're making change, and we're standing up for parents. We're empowering parents to make decisions for their children. It's happening on a bipartisan basis. We've just gotten a bill through our Senate. It'll go through the House. We'll get this in effect over the next 2 weeks, and we're going to give parents the power that they deserve to make decisions for their kids. You know, when we're talking about reading the room, Virginia's been leading in this for the last year. The rest of the nation is now all of a sudden recognizing we must get back to normal. And we have to give our kids the ability to get back to normal, to fully participate in education, because we have watched this mandatory mask culture where we give parents no ability to choose to actually work against our children. We're watching them falling behind in school, learning development challenges. And so if parents want their child to wear a mask, please have them wear it. But if parents don't want their child to wear a mask, we're going to give them the ability to make that decision.
Shout out to Glenn Youngkin. See, this is the main reason why you have to start voting for these type of conservatives. Now, Glenn Youngkin, I'm still on the fence about, but it looks like he's been doing the right thing. He's stepping in the right fashion. So I have to give credit where credit's due. But he's also an establishment member. He's in all the establishment clubs, Club for Growth and all these other clubs. So he is an establishment member. I'm going to say that. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to John Lennon. John Lennon, shout out to you, brother. Says there are a lot of burglar bar teeth, including me, so I am hurt. Laugh out loud. I do have the gap and have been made fun of for about 58 years of my 64. Shout out to the main man. Shout out to John Lennon. John Lennon. My goodness gracious, brother. It's a talking point from, it's a talking point we use with Stacey Abrams, brother. My brother, he got a gap too. We're all made fun of something. People make fun of my big ass lips. You get what I'm saying? The other day, what was it? Uncle Thomasaurus, he was making fun of my lineup. I said, brother, my lineup been gone for years. I'm used to people making fun of me. Absolutely. But I'm a heavy roaster. So, yeah, I roast with the big dogs. I like to roast. One thing I'm going to tell folks, besides black folks being very good at roasting, if you're ever insecure when you're being young, because when you're young, kids like to bully you a lot. My father always told me to have a sharp tongue. And I've always taken that to the bank. Let me tell you. So when folks make fun of me, that's fine and dandy. One thing I do know I'm very good at is roasting. So I would suggest people to learn how to roast. It's real nice. You don't even got to fight anybody. I can roast folks so bad they want to fight and kill me. I ain't lying. Shout out to John Lennon. Shout out to you. Absolutely. Let's go ahead and move forward. Well, hold on. I want to speak about this here. Glenn Youngkin. This guy here, besides him being an establishment figure, like I said, being in all the clubs, he's moving in the right fashion. I believe that this is the correct way to go. A lot more Republicans need to act in this fashion as well. We need parents to be involved in their children's lives. We need that. The communist angle is for the parents not to be involved in the children's life, and they control the children's outlook, perception, and world. That's what they want. And the more lazy parents get, the more time parents are out of the house, like working, the more access these communists, these people who hate you, have with your children. And that should be the message. I wish conservatives and Republicans in this country would really care about family. We're at a point right now where a lot of the time it takes two people to run a home, to, how can I say, have a family in a sense where you're able to keep a hold of all the bills. Almost you need to have 2 or 3 jobs a lot of the time for you to make it. Back in the day, traditional family in this country, right, just like a lot of families across the world, one person would work and the other person would stay home and be able to take care of the children and be able to oversee how the children would grow up and see the world. And liberals have really tricked a lot of folks. And the way we are thinking is very detrimental to us. One thing I've been speaking with Anthony Allen about is getting, Republicans together and coming up with some legislation, maybe a tax credit of some kind that will be an incentive, a future investment in the families of America, where we would pay a certain amount, maybe in tax credit or some sort of form, for a person to stay home, monthly stipends, for a person to stay home to a certain extent to watch over their children. We are paying an astronomical amount. Think about it. Astronomical amount to people to watch your own children. Strangers, people you don't even know. Makes no sense, right? Children are getting beat up, molested. They're hardly learning. Why don't we reinvest that money into American families, traditional families? Promote marriage, these type of things, these type of ideals that make America strong, that make the family strong, that build up individuals. I don't understand why we can't do that. Liberals have policies and legislation to help single families. I want people to think about that. They have policies and legislation to help baby mamas, but they don't have policy and legislation to help the traditional family, mama, daddy, and children. These are the things that we need here in America. And when Glenn Youngkin is talking about empowering parents to be involved in their children's education, I wish he would go a step further and speak about this, because it's about time that we get back to the basics. And I think going forward, a lot of folks aren't going to be able to see that, because they are building a new world of individualism, no families. And you're starting to see this. People don't want to get married anymore. People aren't having children, right? All these things are going left because we don't want to invest in the American family. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys do me a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share, okay? I'm going to need your help. I'm definitely going to need your help, all right? I'm definitely going to need your help. Next one up, I want to speak about Biden. Oh, yeah, we're going to speak about Biden. Biden administration reportedly finalizing a $30 million program to give out crack pipes to drug addicts. I want you guys to take a look at this. Here we go.
Biden looks around from his Oval Office perch every morning, surveys the country, some sectors succeeding, others struggling. And Biden, never known for his good instincts, points west and says, "I'll have another helping of Seattle." The administration is about to spend $30 million on crack pipes. We're not kidding. His plan gives crack pipes to drug addicts. Why? For racial equity, whatever that means. We're not sure if this was Hunter's idea or Joe's way of getting his cartel partners to trust him, but Seattle actually tried this before, because of course they did, and it failed. It just got more people hooked on crack. Here's what being hooked on crack looks like.
Shout out to that clip from Jesse Waters and Fox. Man, this is what liberals do. This is what liberals do. Makes no sense in the world to do it, but this is what liberals do. I want folks to understand, since Biden has been in office, everything has gone to hell. And then now he's trying to, make sure that people get their fix for real. I mean, I'm telling you. You can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. So what's going to be next? Are you going to go to every city in America and drop this crack pipe program? Right? What's next after that? Syringes for heroin addicts? Right? How about straws for cocaine addicts? I mean, why you only focusing on crack? What about cocaine? Right? How about straws for cocaine addicts? Crack pipes for crack addicts, right? How about the weed heads out there? How about free blunts? Yeah, how come, why not free blunts? Jamal Quavius down the street, he always got to go to the corner store and get himself a Garcia Vega. He want free blunts. I'm telling you, see black folks out there? You see that? He don't care about you. He think that you only care about crack. You care about weed too. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Shout out to John Lennon. He says hard drugs have no place in society, period. Nope. They don't. The hard drugs are there to destroy you. That's it. To destroy you. So, Joe Biden, once more again, he's not doing the right thing. This is another crack pipe dream for real. Ain't lying about it. I don't know who came up with this. But this is what liberals do. Instead of cleaning up the folks that are there, you want to know what helps sober up folks? Right? Because, Jermaine used to be a counselor. I know what sober up folks the most. It's called jail. Right? Can you guys say it with me? Jail! Jail. Jail. A lot of folks need to go to jail. A lot of crack addicts need to go to jail. Absolutely. They can get some help in jail. Jail sobers up a lot of folks. They realize how bad their life is. Yeah, you go ahead and ask people who've gone to jail. They start thinking about their whole life, sitting in a cell. Right? Absolutely. Start making promises that you'll never keep. You know what I'm talking about out there? Making promises you'll never keep. I swear to God, if I get out of jail, I'll leave her alone. I won't ever see her again. Knowing you're telling a lie. So, yeah, some of y'all know what I'm talking about. In jail singing. Singing that song. Jail is a good place for a lot of these folks. Instead of spending $30 million, you could have just told me what to do. It's real simple. Instead of spending $30 million and running this BS program, you go ahead and spend, 1/quintillionth of that money, and you give the rest of the money to me and my audience. And go ahead and start locking up and arresting every single one of them that is out there loitering in the back alleys trying to smoke some crack. You start arresting all these drug dealers. You know who they are. You know where they hang out. You go ahead and arrest them up. You start doing your job. When you start doing that, you don't need to spend money on these crack pipes. So let me tell you something. You go to jail is a good place for a lot of folks. When I say this, a lot of people laugh, but it's the truth. Jail is a good place because it brings people to reality. Some people need to hit rock bottom, right? They don't need nobody to enable them. They need to hit rock bottom where they're in the jail and there's Big Dick Tony in the corner, right? And Big Bertha in the back, right? And it smell musty as hell in the jail. Absolutely. They need to be in there and start thinking about their life. And then when they say, hey, bailiff, can I get a call? And you know what that bailiff does? He turns his back like a good bailiff and acts like he doesn't hear them. Yeah, that's where they need to be. So I want folks to understand, jail is needed, not crack pipes. That should be the headline. Jail, not crack pipes. That's what it is. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you share. Make sure you share. All right, make sure you share. We're gonna need your help. We're gonna need your help. Next one up. Let me pull this up. Biden. So there has been leaked documents on the Afghanistan withdrawal. Fox News has obtained it. The New York Post has obtained it. And these leaked documents are showing that a lot of the personnel that was in Afghanistan didn't know even about how serious the situation was until a couple of days before being evacuated. The leaked documents also show a lot of dysfunction in the ranks and also in the command. This has been a story that has been gaining a lot of legs right now. Now, one thing I want to say with all the nonsense going on with this, had this been President Trump, they would have tried to impeach him over this. This would be an impeachable offense. But because Biden is ran by President Xi, who I believe is the Lucifer incarnate for some reason, he's able to skate free with a lot of this crap. I want to go ahead and run you guys this short clip. It's with Lester Holt. He had a big sit down with Biden. All right. This sit down was about 12 minutes long. I sat there, listened, and fell asleep. Woke up and Mr. Magoo's lips was still moving. Not everything all over. I'm telling you, it was a good sleep too. And Mr. Magoo's lips was still moving. I said, You know he telling a lie. Let me go ahead and run this. When it come back, I want to speak about it. I want to speak about this. Biden says he was not told certain information about the withdrawal. He is saying that the information he got was a lot rosier. I want you guys to take a look at this. Biden and his slip up. Here we go.
On the subject of American citizens, I have to draw your attention to that Army report, an investigative report that's come out about the lead up to the withdrawal from Afghanistan. It interviewed many military officials and officers who said the administration ignored the handwriting on the wall. Another described trying to get folks in the embassy ready to evacuate, encountering people who were essentially in denial of this situation. Does any of that ring true to you?
No, that's not what I was told.
That you were told that the U.S. administration officials were prepared, they knew it was time to get out?
No, what I was told, no one told me that. Look, there was no good time to get out. But if we had not gotten out, they acknowledged that we would have had to put a hell of a lot more troops back in. It wasn't just 2,000, 4,000. We would have to significantly increase the number of troops, and we were back in this war of attrition. And there was no way we were ever going to unite Iraq, Afghanistan. No way that was going to happen. And so this is a much wiser thing to do.
I just want.
Did you guys see that? I mean, there's no way that we were going to unite Ukraine. I mean, Iraq, gosh darn it, Afghanistan. This is the so-called, whatever this word is. This is the so-called whatever this word is right here, this word. Ain't that crazy? He don't even know. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, this man don't know nothing. He don't. I need to play it again. On the subject of American citizens, I have to draw your attention to that Army report, an investigative report that's come out about the lead up to the withdrawal from Afghanistan. It interviewed many military officials and officers who said the administration ignored the handwriting on the wall. Another described trying to get folks in the embassy ready to evacuate, encountering people who were essentially in denial of this situation. Does any of that ring true to you?
No, that's not what I was told.
Ladies and gentlemen, look at his face right here. You see how one eye is low like this? Look like a lazy eye. And then look at this eye right here, how this one's open. Biden is on either some sort of sedative or Biden high. Biden on I swear to goodness, you see the way he was stuttering and screwing up? Mr. Magoo was high as a kite. Maybe some of these medication that they got him on. You get what I'm saying? He's high like a kite in here. Look at his face. Don't he look high as hell? Look at his face. No. He don't even know what he's saying no to. He just saying no to just say no. Look at his face. Let me go back. This man look high. Look at his face. Biden high as hell.
Did that ring true to you?
No, that's not what I was told.
That you were told that the U.S. administration officials were prepared, they knew it was time to get out?
No, what I was...
He's high. He don't even know what the hell he's talking about. Man, I'm ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, this man high as a kite.
So no one told me that, look, there was no good time to get out. But if we had not gotten out, they acknowledged that we would have had to put a hell of a lot more troops back in. It wasn't just 2,000, 4,000. We would have to significantly increase the number of troops, and we were back in this war of attrition. And there was no way we were ever going to unite Ukraine. I mean, excuse me, Iraq, Afghanistan.
You high as hell. You high as hell, Biden. Ladies and gentlemen, what you got to think about this? Biden high as hell. He is high. That man's super high right now. He using some of those crack pipes that he putting out. That's what he's doing. Shout out to Matthew Steinacker. He said he's sampling that crack pipe. You know he is. You know he's sampling that crack pipe right now. He's like, hold on, before you pass this out, I gotta test it. That's what he's doing. That's exactly what he's doing. High as hell sitting over here. Screwing up. He just saying no to say no. 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 Hold on. No. I'm like, this man high as hell. He is, ladies and gentlemen. That man is gone. He's blasted in the air right now. Biden blasting, and he's twisting in the wind. So, speaking about this screw-up withdrawal, like I said, the Army reports show that Biden and his administration did not take what was going on very seriously. They ignored the writing on the wall. They ignored common sense. And this led to the disastrous withdrawal, with people still being left behind, even still to this day. They even stopped talking about it. There's a teacher left behind right now. They did a story on CNN last week. So there's people still left behind in Afghanistan. They're not really speaking about it. The administration is just, I don't even know what they're doing right now. This is just awful. It absolutely is. And then the man is sitting there, when you ask him a question, he doesn't even know what he's answering. And the answer he gave wasn't even really specific to the question Lester Holt really asked. And I wish Lester Holt would have just pushed it like, hey, Mr. President, I understand you got a rehearsed answer. We heard that last week. But I'm asking a very specific question. He couldn't do that. That's what you get with these fluff type interviews. They don't really give you nothing. They just show you how dumb and retarded Biden is and the people asking him questions. It's crazy to me. Let's go ahead and move forward. Let's go ahead and move forward. Our last one up here, ladies and gentlemen. I want to speak about Fulton County DA. They came out yesterday. Fulton County DA says that they're confident that Trump will be prosecuted. They're coming for Trump. They are. And they want him out of the election coming up. I want you guys to take a look at this. Here we go.
Welcome back. It's now 6:44. And this morning, Fulton County's district attorney is pushing back against claims that she's not going to be able to prosecute former President Trump for crimes he allegedly committed while he was in the Oval Office.
Our Rebecca Schramm is live in downtown Atlanta this morning. Rebecca, the DA insists Trump will have to answer to any charges.
She is, Robin Gravier, good morning to you. You know, she's already gotten approval for a special grand jury to investigate, and she expects that subpoenas could start coming out in early May. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis has been investigating whether former President Trump or his allies committed any crimes when they tried to convince Georgia officials to find fraud after the 2020 election and declare him the winner here in Georgia. The allegations stem from a recorded phone call Mr. Trump made to Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, in which he pressed him to find votes, insisting he won the state. In a sit-down interview with CNN, Willis said she's digging into not only Trump's actions, but also others in his inner circle.
I imagine that we're going to be issuing subpoenas to a lot of people, and that all of them are not going to welcome our invitation to come speak with us.
Protest.
And some of those people who might be subpoenaed, Trump attorney Rudy Giuliani, former chief of staff Mark Meadows, and South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham will be watching as the case unfolds, and we'll bring you updates as they come in. Live in Atlanta, Rebecca Schramm.
So that black woman did another press conference today, yesterday, speaking about bringing charges up against Trump. Now, let me tell you something. It looks like, she's going for broke. I believe that she will try to, get evidence that is, how can I say, light, and try to flip it. This is just a political hit job through and through. Oh, and she got it. Let me go ahead and show. I didn't think it was a hair hat. Now it is. Let me go back. This is a hair hat here. I gotta show this. You ain't gonna escape here. All right. And she got a hair hat on. You already know what I think about the hair hats. They out of control. But women who wear hair hats most of the time cannot be trusted. This black woman got a hair hat on, so I know she's not to be trusted. She's gonna try to pull some foolery. I just needed to point that out. Yesterday, what was it, the other day when we was with Jamal, and she was on CNN. It didn't look like she had a hair hat. But now I could clearly tell that this is a hair hat. I could see the lines that come from Asia. It's a straight up hair hat. So I know she gonna be pulling some ratchet. Absolutely. That's what. Yeah, it's that Chinese Uyghur hair hat. Absolutely, she's wearing one of them slaves' hair. And I want folks to understand. Somebody ask her what a hair hat is. A hair hat is a wig that a lot of women have. And it's a weave. Okay, what black women do is they sew up their own beautiful hair. They sew it up. And then they go to the store and they look for either horse hair, hair from a horse's ass, right? Synthetic doll hair. I want you guys to understand this. Or they look for a Chinese Uyghur's hair or some Brazilian hair. I think the Brazilian is the top hair. They look for Brazilians and, they catch them and they shave them down. So after that, they sew this hair into their own hair and they wear it. All right. A lot of white women are mad because black women are appropriating their hair every day. But yet, black women don't really speak about it. But yet, if a white woman was to wear even some braids, apparently the black women get mad over that. So that's what a hair hat is. So they'll sew on this hair hat or they'll put on a wig. And most of the time, they will wear this hair hat for months at a time. It gets to the point where it gets real stinky. All right. There's I got a friend. He's a white guy. And I ain't gonna say his name, but he goes out with a black woman. And one day he called me and said, Jermaine, I understand what you say about the hair hat. He was in her apartment one day. She was taking a shower. And she asked for something to be brought into the bathroom. And he said that he walked in and he saw something on the floor that looked like a little critter. And he ran out. He ran out. He was like, what is that? And she said, oh, that's my wig. And he was taken back. He was like, oh my gosh, Jermaine. I didn't know that they could just literally just take off this hair hat. I said, yeah. I said, that's what they do. That's why I call it a hair hat. Absolutely. Yeah, and some of them got these lace fronts too. It's out of control. Out of control. Instead of wearing their own hair, they're too lazy to do their own hair. So they look for somebody else's hair to throw on. It's so evil. It is. It's so evil. Ron Baker says squirrel hair. Yeah. Sometimes they wear a Davy Crockett hat. They call it a coonskin cap. Absolutely. Absolutely. I roasted a black woman before. Absolutely. She was her wig looked like Davy Crockett. Absolutely. I roasted her from here to Pakistan, wearing a coonskin cap, running your mouth. I'm telling you, when your hair look like David Crockett's coonskin cap, there's something going on with you. There is. But ladies and gentlemen, that is our show for tonight. I want to thank everybody and their mama's mama for coming out, hanging out with us. All right. Absolutely. I'll be on tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central, a little bit earlier. So come and hang out with us. Should have a very, very good time. I want to thank everybody for hitting that like button and everybody for sharing. I really do. I want to also thank everybody for donating as well. Shout out to y'all. You guys keep the show rolling. Absolutely. All right. And somebody asking about Logan. We're going to try to get Logan. Logan can't do the show on Fridays anymore. So we're thinking that we'll bring him on Wednesday. Monday or Wednesday. So he'll be on next week, but we got to talk about which day. So that's what it comes down to. So you guys have a very, very good night, and I'll catch you guys here later with another edition of Conservative Nation. You guys take care and